Testing 1, 2.
She won't stay here forever. She's just passing the time. She won't stay here forever. Oh, I hope she'll always be mine. She wants to go home to mama. She wants to go home to papa. She wants to go 'cause it's over. But I hoped she'd always be mine. And I know we won't make it to winter, 'cause fall, it never felt so cold. Now I can feel it when I hold her. She's just passing the time.
Good morning. Oh, yeah. Nothing like serenading myself to my own music. Yeah. It's really just because I'm only licensed to play my own music, which is why I've been opening every show with my music. That's a song called Passing Time. That was one of the first songs I wrote that went on the album that we put out in 2013, 14-ish, a while ago. Anyways, Passing Time. That's a fun song. I love that song. Today is Wednesday, April 21st. This is the Morning Buzz, the Wednesday edition. Good morning. I hope everybody is having a good hump day morning. You've got your coffee. You've got your favorite morning show on in the background. You've got the I don't know. Maybe you've got bacon going. Maybe you've got some exercise routine going on YouTube or whatever you do to get your morning started. Mornings in our house is hitting snooze buttons. My wife yelling to make sure that my son's up, and coffee, water boiling on the pot because we had like 17 coffee pots. I think I told you guys this before, and literally we're down to just a pot on the stove with boiling water, pouring it into the French press. And so it's we like the very first thing we do when we get up is go fill that pot up with water and turn the water on. It's almost like we're living in the 1800s. It's that old school. Yeah, we're like pioneers on the frontier, just heating up. I might as well build a fire outside and then throw the pot on the fire. That's basically, we're roughing it, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, Wednesday, I didn't go to the 4 a.m. club this morning, and here's why. I will tell you this much. We got home at 8:45 last night from volleyball down in Arroyo Grande, and I still hadn't done my second workout. So 8:45, I started to do my workout. Got done with that around 9:45-ish. Did it here at the house. I did some just basic things, right? If I had the ability to pan out and show you a little demonstration, I would totally do that right now, but I don't, and you're probably thankful for that. But I did some planks, I'm not too proud. I did planks, and then I did I had like just little 15-pound dumbbells. And I did floor press, which is you lay on the floor, you push up, and then you slowly bring them down. And I was counting to like 10 on my way down. So I did 3 sets of those, 10 each, 10 count on the way down. And what that does is Actually, if I was like a qualified, personal trainer or something, I'd totally know what that does, and I would be able to explain it to you with certainty. But I know that the resistance or something in the slow movement is probably good because it makes me sore. So I did that. I did some Russian twists. I don't know if it's are we able to say Russian twists in 2021? I don't know if that's if that term's been canceled or not, but anyways, they call them Russian twists. You hold the dumbbell and then you know twist like this. You're kind of sitting in a sit up position type thing where you're like laying down, but your back's propped up like at 45 degrees, and then you're twisting. So I did 200 of those. I did some push-ups and just other things to get some muscle movement and to get some soreness today. So got done with that. Stayed up for a little bit longer. I'm putting together some music for some shows that I have coming up. Fun thing to announce. I confirmed last night. This is exciting. Mike Wright Brady, that's me. I'm going to be starting some acoustic shows, a residency. I guess you can call it a residency. I'm going to be playing like for the next 5 or 6 Thursdays out at the Backyard in Paso Robles, which is, if you haven't been to the Backyard, it's the old Chubby Chandler's, right? And they've converted that. Russell Baker and his family, they converted it to really just like a beer garden. It's like made to look like a backyard beer garden, which is awesome. It's right there on 13th and Pine, and they've got food there, and they've got a great selection of beers. They've got some fire pits, outdoor seating, some really cool. They built it out of containers. It's just a really cool, vibey place. So I'm excited to start playing there tomorrow. 6 p.m. will be the first one. So yeah, I've been going through my set list of different songs. Tony Domingo sent me a song to play, and so I listened to that this morning, and I'm going to learn that song and add it. It's a really great song. So just getting that stuff together, and so I didn't get to bed till about 10:30 last night, and I've noticed at 43 years old, and I don't know if it's as a result of the last year and a half of my crazy life with work and my mental well-being and my physical well-being, but I've noticed that I really cannot do less than 5.5 hours sleep anymore. I ran for 42 years on about 4.5 to 5.5 hours sleep, and I felt amazing doing it, no issues. But for some reason, it hurts my brain now. And so last night, got to bed at 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. Got 7 hours sleep, which is amazing. And I think I did that once last week too, which is awesome. So here I am. I'm refreshed. I'm going to go for a run after the show to get my first workout in. Today is day, keeping track at home, are you? Day 23. Today's day 23 for me. I realized Friday I will be a third of the way done with this 75-day challenge. And so, yeah, that's, when you break it up into bite sizes like that, it's really not that difficult to imagine yourself being able to accomplish and achieve that. So today's day 23. We're going to check in today with Amanda Moore. Amanda's 5 days ahead of me. She's on day 28 or 29, I think. Today, we're going to check in with her, see how it's going with her diet, with her exercise. And then we've got Mr. Matt coming on at 7:30. He's going to share what's going on in the great world of Templeton Eagles athletics and school activities. Mr. Lewis is coming in to do his weekly update with us, history lesson. I've asked him to cover one thing specifically. We have Supreme Court justices, right? And those Supreme Court justices are appointed by the government, and they're appointed to a lifetime position, right? Once you're a Supreme Court justice, you're in there for life. And so I asked him the question if he could please explain to us what was the purpose behind our Constitution, the way we wrote it up. Why what was the reasoning for giving these Supreme Court justices a lifelong appointment? And so he's going to explain that. I know there's some controversy right now about giving those guys and girls term limits. And so, just kind of, I want to geek out on the judicial branch of our U.S. government. So if you're into it, great. If you're not, I don't know what to tell you. It's my show. I'm just kidding. It's our show. But I find it fascinating. So maybe you guys will too. So he's coming in, and then Coach Crow, we're going to get him hopefully on video. If not, we'll do the call in again. Coach Crow's got a game this week with San Luis Obispo. We're on the road. We're going down there, so we'll get an update from him. And then the district update. I don't know if you guys saw yesterday, but Mr. Asplund put out a video. He put out a video update in lieu of his. Well, I don't know if he sent out an email update too, but he did send out a video update, which was great. It's the use of technology to communicate. I'm a big fan of it, as you can tell. So he put out that video update. We're going to touch base with the district today, whether it's Andy or Aaron. One or two of them will come on and give us kind of a rundown of what's going on at a district level. And what they're up to, and then that's pretty much it today. We've got and of course Anthony Reed's going to be checking in with us 3 times this morning, giving us some news and incidents and actions that he needs to report. So good stuff. We're excited. It's a Wednesday. It's a hump day, and I'm pushing through this week. It's been beautiful weather outside. I just can't express enough like how much the sunshine makes me smile and happy, but I'm loving it. So yeah, I don't even know what's the weather supposed to be today. Is it going to be another hot day? It says right now 48 degrees right now. It's going to get up to mid 60s and sunny. So, but they say that, and then it seems like it's always about 10 degrees hotter than they say. So I'm not trusting anything in regards to the weather. Hey, did you guys see that Matthew McConaughey? Is it Matt or Matthew? I think he goes by Matthew. Matthew McConaughey is like leading in this poll for the next governor of Texas, and he's not even really running, but they just, for some reason, did this poll with like, okay, if Matthew McConaughey was to run, would he win? And he's like beating the incumbent by double digits or something. So I thought that was fascinating. Who would it be for California? Who would be the one that would run for governor that everybody would be like, yeah, let's vote for that guy or girl, right? Trying to think. I don't even know. It's California is just it's in such a weird state right now, right? It's just kind of all over the map. I can't tell if this COVID thing's really just kind of got us up in a upheaval. So what else is going on out there? If you want to give me some information that you need to cover on the show, morningbuzz@gmail.com. That's my email address. I did touch base with Taylor Odenwald yesterday. Taylor is one of the owners of the old AJ Spurs building. They're turning it into a place called the Mercantile. And so that's going to open, he says, sometime mid-June, I think. He's going to come on the show here, hopefully in the next few days, to talk about all the things that they have going on. They're running some ads right now, looking for help. They're hiring for the new space that they've got going in. So he's going to come on, explain what they're doing with that building, what the concept is, what we can expect. And so I'm excited to learn about him and his family and their goals and what their vision is for that place, because it's a cool spot. It's a great location, and Templeton needs cool, vibey places. And not that we don't have those already, Jack's and the Kitchenette and 15C and Joe's. We got so much, all the cool places, but we could always use more options. And so I'm excited. I think Templeton's got a unique downtown, and it's something that, it's a destination, and so the more we can do with it to turn it into a place that tourists want to come spend money and locals want to hang out, like, I'm all for it. It's a win-win. So, speaking of downtown cool places and stuff, 15C. So I threw the idea out there of doing a weekly class, right, where you guys would bring your guitars and I would teach you songs. And so I threw this idea out to Allie at 15C, and she's all on board with it. So I think we're gonna do like a Tuesday night sip and strum. It's going to be called the Sip and Strum. I think that's the name. That's the working name, and it's probably been used and taken. And I'm probably stealing somebody's idea. I have no idea. There's no original ideas anymore, anyways. But so this is going to be like a Tuesday night Sip and Strum hosted by me. You guys will bring your guitar, and if you don't have a guitar, I'll bring a couple extra ones. I'll borrow from the band, and we'll learn a new song every week. And I'm not going to show you like any intricate like crazy song, structure and finger picking and all that. Like, I don't do that. I'm like campfire guitar player guy, right? I know just enough chords to cheat my way through a song to entertain people. And so that's going to be the goal of the Sip and Strum class, is that I'm just going to give you the tools needed to just kind of cheat your way through entertaining people around a campfire. That's the goal of the Sip and Strum. So more to come on that. But yeah, we found a venue to host it, and we think it'll be something that people will want to come out to. So we'll see. It's kind of like one of those, paint classes where you show up with your girlfriends and you drink wine and paint a picture that sometimes turns out great and sometimes looks like you drank wine, but something like that. So we'll see how that goes. All right, 7:17. Mr. Anthony Reed is in the house. Let's check in with him. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well this morning. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I am good. I'm well rested. My mind's clear. I feel good. Yeah. How about you?
I'm a little tired. It was a busy day yesterday with the memorial service that I had to record. Well, I say had to, like I really had to, but I volunteered it, so that's probably the wrong word. But anyways, no, I'm doing good this morning. Woke up about an hour ago, so I'm just starting to get my motors going here. So it's gonna be good. It's going to be a good, solid day. I have physical therapy later on, so we're looking good. We're looking good today.
That's awesome. Yeah, you know what you should do? You should do a little interview with your physical therapist. Mm-hmm. Just like a little two-minute deal where you're just asking him the types of things that you're doing and what you're working on and what it does to your body. And I'd be curious to get that footage, and we could air that on the show and just kind of have him or her come on, like that and talk about the goals for your body and your physical therapy. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely ask him about it and get his opinion on it. And so,
or he can even come on the show as a guest. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'll bring up the idea and see where it goes.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, good luck today with that. Anything going on in the news in the North County?
No, not other than what's going to happen today at 1:30, which is the further arraignment hearing for Ruben Flores. Paul Flores has been, I guess, reduced to no bail. Of course, that's what it's been all along. But Ruben Flores is on the hot seat today at 1:30. And that's going to be live on the court website. So, yeah, other than that, not much really going on.
All right. Well, cool. Yeah. So we were down in AG last night. We had dinner in the village after Allison's volleyball game and Abby's volleyball game. And we drove by Susan Flores' house. It's like the weirdest thing that it's just right there.
Yeah, it's kind of eerie, huh?
It's super eerie, right? Like, for 25 years, you've been under this microscope and you've chosen to continue to live in that same house versus
Yeah.
like get out of town, get out of the
Yeah.
area. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I was talking to a friend of mine last night actually, and we are thinking that it's gonna be taken out of county in terms of the courts and all that stuff, and all that judicial stuff that goes on with that. Because my friend and I were talking about that, we know that obviously everyone in SLO County thinks, I'm not going to say knows, but thinks that Paul Flores actually did kill Kristen Smart. Whether that's true or not, that's not for us to decide, obviously. But in SLO County, we can just about guess that if it does get tried here in SLO County, that everyone's going to vote to convict both Paul and Ruben. So we're thinking that it's going to go somewhere else, like in terms of the courts. So,
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that happen either.
right. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's touch base again here at 7:55, and we'll keep going.
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, thanks, Anthony. We'll talk to you.
All right.
All right, that's Anthony Reed, Paso Robles Incidents and Actions, and he's got that Facebook page that has over what does he have? Over 6,000 people follow that page for different things to get updates on what's going on in and around the North County. So really cool public service that he provides there with that page. So all right, at this time, let's do a weekly check-in with my partner in this challenge, Amanda Moore. What's happening? How are you?
Hey, what's up, Mike? I'm good. How are you?
You're good. You're outside.
I came outside today. Yes.
Is it sunny where you're at?
Not. It's foggy.
Okay, it looks sunny. Yeah. Yeah, it's super foggy here too. So,
Yeah.
all right. So day 28 or 29?
I should know this. I think I'm 28.
You're 20. I'm 20. Yeah. I'm 23.
Okay.
I had a bit of a challenge yesterday. I went to bed too late the night before, and so I didn't get up and go to the 4 a.m. club. But I needed to squeeze in 2 workouts in a busy day with no vehicle, and then driving down south to go watch the volleyball. But I did it.
Yay.
Yeah, but I was done at like 10 o'clock last night.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then I went to bed. But yeah, so it's been a struggle. So you're doing these workouts with your YouTube stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah. This morning I did a Sydney Cummings glute workout for 45 minutes. And then tonight I'll go on a jog.
Okay.
Yeah. Last night I took a HIIT class in person. I kind of want to give a shout out to my friend Bethany Sabraski. She has an Instagram page, Bar Bethany, and she teaches HIIT and bar Tuesdays and Saturday mornings in the parking lot at my father's house. So it's in Atascadero.
Okay.
Father's house is a church, so it's in that parking lot.
Oh, I was thinking your actual father's house. Like that's cool of your dad to give up that parking lot. Okay.
Yeah. So she's been doing that, and that's been really fun to be out there with other ladies and stuff. So
that's not the bar classes that were in Paso at the train station. Is that the same?
No, it's different. Yeah, she started doing these because she's a teacher at Kennedy, so she started this when COVID hit and the gym down. So it's donation based, and she has these outdoor classes that have been really fun.
Are there any males in the bar classes?
There has not been a male that has come to the bar class. I have heard there's been males that have come to her HIIT classes, although I have not seen one there.
Okay. So that you did a HIIT class yesterday?
Yes. Yeah.
What is that?
High intensity interval training. So run the parking lot and then do the reps, do some Tabatas, run the parking lot, stuff like that. So we bring some lighter weights. Like I bring my 8s and we do stuff with those. So
it's like cardio stuff.
Cardio and yeah.
Okay. Hey, I have a question for you. I don't know. You're probably not like a health expert or fitness expert, but what would cause swelling in one knee versus another knee? Do you know?
Oh, no. I mean, do you remember hurting it?
No, never. I just know that, when I was, it's 2013. maybe 2013. I went back to a conference in Austin, Texas, and part of the conference was a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. And so my team, we had 4 of us, and then it was like a big tech conference, and ESPN had a team, and Facebook had a team, and Google had it. Like, there was all these big tech companies that put together these 3-on-3 teams. We ended up winning the tournament. We played 13 games. We beat everybody. And granted, we had some ringers. It was me and my buddy Gennaro, who grew up in Paso. Gennaro's brother Jeremiah played in the NBA Europe. And so he was on the team with us. And I just kind of sat back and ran back and forth and, shot 3-pointers. And they did all the heavy lifting. But at the end of that day, my right knee looked like the size of a basketball. And it was swollen for like 3 days. And then since then, like every time, and I've never heard it, but it's like every so often it'll swell up. And so I've noticed in the last week running, my right knee has been kind of aggravated. And I don't know why it would be just one knee.
Right. Yeah, that's weird. Unless you did injure it, but your adrenaline was so high you didn't feel it.
Probably. But I'm not a like high intensity kind of adrenaline junkie. So
yeah.
Like, how would I injure it on stage, jumping around with my guitar? I don't know. So, all right. So you got the HIIT classes. How's the diet going?
It's going. I'm not letting myself get discouraged because I've been like the same weight for 2 weeks, but I'm doing everything. So I think, especially for women, hormones play a role and stuff like that. So just keeping doing what I'm doing. I know it'll continue to improve. So. And it's not, we know this isn't a weight loss challenge. It's
right.
A mental toughness challenge. So I'm definitely, experiencing that. So
sure. Yeah. My weight loss has plateaued. I'm thinking, my exercise is kind of intensified, but I'm thinking that maybe my diet isn't exactly where it needs to be yet. And I'm still trying to figure that out. I posted on that accountability group about, the things I'm eating, and people were like, oh no, you need to make sure you're eating sodium.
Yeah.
But then I have, my family history is high blood pressure. And so I've kind of got to balance that a little probably, but there's probably a sweet spot and a mix in there, right?
Yeah. Looking at our macros and stuff like that. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I think with the sodium too, because of the gallon of water, it's a lot of water. So
sure. Yeah. Okay, so are you mixing anything up now? And so you're over a third of the way done. I'm almost a third of the way done. Are you kind of going next level, or what? Are you just kind of maintaining?
Stick to it, and with my daily schedule, I kind of don't have a lot of options. Maybe on the weekend a little bit. We did a nice hike out at Pismo Preserve last Saturday, which was nice. It was like an hour and a half. So that was fun. Something different. I'm trying to get out on the weekends for some hikes.
Yeah. Where's Pismo Preserve?
It's, you get off it's near the Maddie Road exit, and it's the hills on the other side of the ocean from the freeway, the other side of the freeway from the ocean. Yeah.
Okay.
It's beautiful up there. And there's even like some tree shaded areas, and the views are amazing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Okay. Yeah. I've been enjoying that monolith hike. I did that, gosh, probably 7 times in the last 10 days.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just, it's quick, and I'm a creature of habit. Like, I know exactly it's going to take me 16 minutes to get up top, and then, back to my car in 47 minutes. It's 400 calories. And I mean, it's super intense going up and down, up and down. I mean, there are kind of a lot of options for us to hike around here within 25 minutes of getting in the car, right?
Yes, for sure. And beautiful. I mean, we should be out enjoying where we live.
Totally. So, yeah. All right, Amanda. Well, I appreciate you checking in and keeping me motivated. And so who are we sending a shout out to again? Bethany?
Oh, Bethany Sabrasky. Her handle on Instagram is Bar Bethany, BARRE, BATHY. Yeah.
Bar Bethany. And you can just kind of DM her and get in on a class.
On her page you can follow her. On her page is the time she holds live classes. And then she also does some on Instagram Live, so that you can watch later too. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Cool deal.
For having me. Have a good day.
You too. We'll talk to you
Baseball.
later.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. All right, that's Amanda Moore, my partner in this 75 hard challenge. She's keeping me motivated, and yeah, she's the one that kind of threw it out there, and she posted it on her story, and I was like, dude, this sounds like something that I need to be a part of, because I need to shock my system and my brain and my routine. And so far, so good. It's nothing bad's come out of it, except for maybe a swollen knee, but it is what it is. No pain, no gain, right? Isn't that right, Mr. Mack?
That's what they say.
No pain, no gain. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be nice if you could gain without the pain, but
It's
I don't think that happens.
It doesn't work that way. Yeah.
No.
All right. So it's 7:31. Mr. Mack is wearing his Wednesday hump day shirt. He's ready to go. He's got his activities director shirt on. And,
Yeah, let's go.
He's ready. There was something. What was? You sent me a text. Did you need something from me? Oh, you needed me to send you a video segment from Coach Tompkins.
Yeah, because we got to put that up because, our boys baseball team is something and they're playing today.
Okay, I'm going to download that after the show. I'll cut it up. I'll get it out to you. And then, that was cool. He's a good interviewee, and I enjoy having him on.
Yeah. He's
a super nice guy. So I'll get that over to you.
And you got your baseball hat on for today. I
do. I stole it out of Noel's room. It's probably, I think it's a player only hat. Like they didn't.
I think so.
Yeah. So, but I'm a player. So
yeah, you are.
Yeah. So funny story about me. And, 10 years ago, I looked a lot younger. I looked 20 years younger 10 years ago. And so we were chaperoning a dance. Allison was a high school teacher, and I got kicked out of the back because they thought I was a student. They're like, hey, kids can't be back here. And I'm like, I'm a chaperone. So that was just, it was always a funny joke in our house. But yeah, so I still think I'm a student. I'm wearing the baseball team's hat.
You're a student of life, man.
That's right. Student of life. All right. So volleyball, I went down to the game. I had my hat on like this. I had the pencil in. I was ready to take stats if they needed. Allison asked me to kind of come along and possibly help her. And so I did. Turns out I wasn't needed. So I just got to enjoy the game and watch it.
Nice.
I'll be honest with you. Those girls have come a long way. They're looking better and better every game. It's just been fun to watch their progression, and Arroyo Grande is borderline like college team. The average girl is probably 5'10". They've got some really tall girls. And we got to after the games were over, we got to watch the boys team warm up. And so that was fun to watch. I
didn't hear how the boys did. Oh, you left before it was over.
We left before it was over. I'll ask Mr. Asplund if he comes on this morning, how they did. He was down there. They were warming up. It's a fun sport for boys. And boys typically, it's not one of those sports that you would think, oh, boys are going to go play volleyball. But I played volleyball in 7th and 8th grade, and I loved it. And it's almost one of those life sports, right? Like
absolutely,
you can play. I mean, Allison is on a women's team that plays from time to time, and naturally not with COVID. But it's a great sport to play. It's good cardiovascular. It's good energy. It's good competition. So the boys were warming up. They look great. And their coach, I've got to get her on the show. I can't remember her name, but she's a Notre Dame alumni. She played, I think, volleyball and basketball at Notre Dame. So she's been in the district and coaching youth sports here in Templeton for a few years. So I've seen her around. But yeah, I'd love to get her on to talk through boys volleyball.
That'd be great. And So since you said Mr. Asplin was there, Kyle must have been playing, huh?
Kyle was playing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They have another son, right? That's ninth grade. Is he ninth grade?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's on the team too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking Jen Solar. That is Slowar is the coach, right?
Yeah.
Slozar.
Slozar.
Yeah, Jen Slozar.
Jen Slozar. That's right. That's who it is.
Yeah. So, I don't know how the guys did, but I know the girls, like you said, that's a tough team to play against. And I heard the JV team played really well.
They did. They
scores, I think, were, let's see. Dang, I thought I knew the scores.
25-19 or 25-18 and
20-25 and 25-27. Ooh,
yeah,
close.
Yeah.
JV, I heard Erica Trujillo played really well.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And who else played well for them? Ella Pontius. So
yeah, and we thought that game was going to go 3. We really did, because that second game we went on a run. It was like, gosh, I want to say it was 19 to or we were down 17 to 23 or something. We came back, tied it 24-24. Then we went up 25-24, and then they score. I mean, we were like, oh, this is going to go to 3, and it didn't. But it was super competitive, and it was fun to watch. And it was a nice moral victory for the girls. Moral victory is a nice way of saying they lost.
Right, but they played really well against a really good team. So
they did.
And to be honest, didn't they? Let's see, were the Englishes there?
No, so varsity.
Yeah,
we had 3 girls gone because of soccer. So Lauren, right. Lindsay, and who's the third girl that was gone for soccer?
Yeah, I knew you'd ask that. I should know that off the top of my head, but I can tell you in a heartbeat.
And I asked Allison. I said, "Where's so and so?" And she said, "Oh, she has soccer too." And I can't remember.
Rain Waltmeyer.
Thank you, Rain. Yeah. So, but so minus those 3, we had a couple people back from injury. Summer was back, Summer Larson, and then Riley Wilson was back. So they were both dressed out and they played. So yeah, had we had the other 3 girls, who knows? We competed, and it was fun. And now Cameron, our coach, is one of his best friends is the coach of AG. They all coach together in club, and it's a small world, that volleyball circle, right? So it was fun. It's always fun when we compete against them, because they have such a good time together, and it's like a big chess match for them, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So yeah.
Hey, so Mike, talking about how the girls were gone at soccer tore it up last night. I don't know if you saw that. 6-0.
6-0.
Yeah, Emily Puita with a hat trick, which for non-soccer hockey fans,
right.
They may not know that, but that's scoring 3 goals. So that's Emily knocked that out, and a 6-0, and they're now 3-1-1 on the season, which is great. And one of the things I really appreciate about our coach, he's subbing kids in and out. He was saying after the game that 19, it's easy to get. We should be pointing out Emily Puita, right? I mean, 3 goals, that's pretty amazing. But he was quick to mention that it's even with a hat trick, it's a team effort. And 19 Lady Eagles saw significant minutes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Constantly, getting people in and out, making sure everybody's fresh. And I think it's showing, 3-1-1. That's awesome. And then the guys, they took care of business too. 4-2 win over Mission last night. So we swept Mission, and the guys are 5-0-1. And that's something. They're halfway through. I think that's the midway point of the season. and undefeated. So
Special shout out to Ella who scored. That's cool. We love Ella.
yeah, Ella Thompson. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mary
all right.
Brindley. Wow, what an athlete.
So boys, let's see where boys. Here's the boys. Where's Lucas in this? He didn't score last night.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're gonna have to get on him.
Yeah. Well, that's another team that if you get my email in the morning, we always try to picture the kids who score the goals, knowing that that's not the whole game. But anyways, show the ones that score. And Abe's been up there a few times, but there's been a lot of switching over of who's scoring. So again, another sign of a well-balanced team, well-balanced attack. So it's great.
So here's something fun. So when we were growing up, South County was super strong with soccer. They had good AYSO programs and youth soccer programs. North County was like, soccer, what's that, right? Like we didn't. There was no soccer in the North County. So for us to go down and dominate and beat a South County school like Mission, that's great. That's exciting for us. Okay, so question for you, and you better know the answer because I'm putting you on the spot.
11.
Where does the term hat trick come from? What does that mean?
Well, I'm going to trace it back to the American Revolution and a tri-cornered hat and how there were 3 points on the hat.
Really?
No.
Oh,
but that's what I'm going with. When you put me on the spot like that, that's what I'm going to go with. Ben Swan probably knows. I bet Ben Swan knows.
Oh, are you kidding?
And I think, I won't even say what I was going to say next. Ben Swan probably knows that, or else he's Googling it right now and he's gonna post it on the side.
Okay. A hat trick, as hockey fans know it, comes from when a player scores 3 goals in a game, usually earning him a cascade of hats thrown on the ice by fans. Okay.
See, I'm still liking mine better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and did you see the comments, man? Everybody's jumping rain out there, and man, you better know the answer right away, or else your listeners are jumping on quick.
It's the court of public scrutiny, exactly.
Yeah. Seriously.
All right.
Oh, thanks, Ben Swan. 3-pointed hat sounds plausible.
All right.
That's pretty good for no warning at all on that question.
Let's go for it. Yeah.
Sometimes people think this is scripted, Mike, and I'm not sure why they think that. But maybe it's because we just do it so well.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing scripted about what we're doing. Hey, which, by the way, I don't know if you caught my interview with Malcolm yesterday, but he had pulled up all these pictures of like him over the years at these weddings, right? And one of them was with a guitar player who had this like perfect mustache and perfect teeth. And so we zoomed in on the teeth and we were talking about it and laughing about it. And Malcolm says, yeah, that's so-and-so and really great guy. And I've known him a lot over the years. And well, the guy watched the clip last night and posted a comment on Facebook and
no way.
Oh yeah. It was cracking me up because he was dying laughing about us talking about how perfect his teeth were. So, it was a good sport about it, but definitely not scripted. We can't script these things.
No, hey Mike, the Google says that the hat trick dates back to the 30s and 40s. Hockey Hall of Fame says the genesis of the term came when a Toronto businessman promoted his business by offering a hat to any player who scored 3 goals. So I don't know, but it might interest you to know that not that any of our kids have done it this year, but there are things beyond a hat trick. 4 goals is called a haul.
A haul?
5 is H-A-U-L.
Okay.
5 goals is a glut. And 6 goals is a double hat trick. 7 goals, you get a full ride scholarship to a hockey or soccer team of your choice. So that's cool.
Wow, 7.
Not really. But anyways, I think we should push some of our girls for a haul or a glut.
A glut. Okay. Well, you don't want to do that. You don't want to run up the score. So hopefully it's like a back and forth thing, right?
It depends on who we're playing, Mike.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of running up the score, our football team was up, I don't know, 1,000,000 points, and a certain backup quarterback decides to throw the ball to try to get it in the end zone. And then he got yelled at, but we won't talk about that.
Life lessons, man. That's
life lessons. Exactly. So I'm excited. We got Coach Crow on today. He's going to come in again and talk about San Luis. That's who we have this week, right?
Yep.
What other sport?
And we got a week and a half until senior night, which is going to be a great thing.
Okay. And then do we have I ran into Bennett Wilson last night at the volleyball game. He told me that he's still undefeated in tennis.
Yep.
What else is going on?
Tomorrow, I think they're up. I think tennis is up tomorrow. Basketball opens their season tomorrow on the road, Friday at home. We've got golf's had a couple scrimmages, but they play tomorrow, I believe, out at Hunter. I'm gonna try to find out about that one, but and they've got just a stud out there, Max Dunau. He was medalist in the scrimmage, which means that he was the he shot the lowest score. I think he had a 39 or something in his last scrimmage. Might have been 36.
Wow.
So yeah, and he had a 39. And that was on a really tough course. I don't know if you're the golfer, but a really tough course that Napomo plays. We got Napomo here on Thursday, here meaning Hunter, for our home match, and it should be good. Our coach is very excited about it. Scott Kramer, excited about the team, and really sees some flashes of brilliance on our golf team. So, and Bennett, I watched Bennett play just in a practice, and he looks good. All those guys look good. They've got a pretty solid squad.
Yeah. So, are you a golfer?
No, those windmills, they throw me off when they keep like spinning around.
Oh, yeah,
they always hit the ball when I'm trying to make it in that hole. So
that's the miniature golf. Miniature golf.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not much of a golfer.
I love golf. I'm terrible at it, but I love 13 holes. I cannot go past 13 and keep focus.
Yeah.
It's like the game takes too long, but I love the sport. It's a fun sport. All right, so I've got this schedule up. It looks like JV girls volleyball and varsity boys volleyball. No, that's today. Wait, is this wrong? Wasn't that yesterday? Oh, these are at home.
Yeah, that's never wrong.
Okay. All right, so we do have volleyball at home today.
Yep.
We've got JV baseball at Atascadero and varsity baseball at home today also.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think they were asking Malcolm, if you're watching, they were asking you to come out to the baseball game today with one of those video cameras that you tow around with.
I talked to him yesterday. We've got him kind of set up on a schedule, and I'm going to try to get out to baseball today, at least for the beginning, if I can. I love when baseball was like at 3:30. Now they're at 4:30 or 5:30 or something like that. That's tough.
I love how you're just, feeling free to just tell Malcolm what his schedule is going to be on a weekly basis.
Hey, if you get a spot on the Mike Brady show, Mike in the morning, then there's some expectation that you're going to take care of business.
Yeah. No, we're running a media empire here. We have to make sure that we're capturing all this stuff for the high schoolers. I'll tell you what, if anything's going to come out of all this, it's going to be great memories for all these students who grew up during this time, right? To have all of the videos captured and all that stuff. Speaking of which, I've got, how much time do I have? 10 minutes. I was going to play that video that Malcolm put together. Did you see that video? You'll Never Walk Alone?
Was that the football one?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was, I'm going to play that this morning. I'm going to play it right now.
Okay. Hey, Mike, I'm going to go and get ready for class then. I'll just watch you off air.
All right. Perfect.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I got Mr. Lewis 5 minutes late. He's
Oh,
popping
yeah.
in. Yeah. He's going to talk about the judicial branch right now. I asked him a question. Hopefully he talks about this. I don't know, but I asked him to kind of clarify why we decided that we wanted to have our Supreme Court justices be lifelong appointees.
Great question.
Yeah, I mean, super nerdy stuff that I'm into, but I wanted to know the answer, so I threw it out there to him. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning. Sorry about being 5 minutes late. It's funny because I saw the link and I can't do it on my school computer still. And so I knew the link was there. And then I went on my phone, and I don't know if you've ever had it where your iPhone puts your email stuff in like different order.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like searching for the link for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, I finally found it. So the reason they did that, well, it's kind of interesting to go back to the Constitution first. Is the first 3 articles are the 3 branches, which are the checks and balances. The first one being the legislative branch, which is actually the longest in the Constitution with the most information of the articles. And then Article 2 is executive branch, which is the president, and it's pretty long too. And then Article 3 is the judicial branch. But it's actually kind of vague. And the one thing is, though, they did want them to serve for life because they wanted them to be completely non-political was the whole goal, with the thinking that their decisions weren't going to be influenced like a politician, where I make this decision and I can be voted out of office in the next term. And that, so it was simple as that. Is they thought that, yeah, that they would then be able to not be influenced by politics or pressure from a president saying they're going to be fired or something like that. And that's why they do that. So the only way they can be removed is by the same process, the impeachment process, which would be in the House. And then if they were impeached in the House of Representatives, it would go to the Senate, where they would be removed.
So in your opinion, I don't know if you want to weigh in on this or not, but in your opinion, are we set up to properly appoint justices, like with a non-political, because it seems to me like the president has the ability to appoint, and then it gets confirmed by is it confirmed by the House and the Senate, or just the Senate? Okay, so is our system set up to be able to appoint somebody in a nonpartisan way?
You know what? It was, I mean, obviously, and I tell my students this, when the Constitution is considered a living document. And so, it's been interpreted over time very differently by different people. And I think what's kind of changed recently is it used to just be like, let's say if President Reagan was going to choose somebody back in the 80s and the Senate was controlled by the Democrats, they would let him have his appointment. They might ask him questions, but unless that person was unfit to serve for some reason, they would allow, they would usually vote to confirm him. They might put him through a process that, asked them a lot of uncomfortable questions, but ultimately they would confirm them. And I guess that's what's changed. Everything's become so divided and so political that, yeah, I honestly don't know. Because the other thing is, the court is a 6-3 conservative court right now. And the Senate, which was controlled by the Republicans under President Obama, chose not to seat Merrick Garland, who's now our Attorney General. But then they rushed through, Amy Barrett right after the election, after President Trump lost, and they rushed her through in a couple of weeks, which is their right. It is their right. But one of the other thing, where it can get political even more, there's nothing in the Constitution that says it has to be 9. And through history, it's been 9, it's been 7. I think it was 10 at one time. And that was like around the turn of the century. It was at 7. It sat at 7 through FDR. FDR added Democratic or liberal leaning people, and pushed it to 9. And
Mhm.
so, there is the talk that because of the way things have been going, and you have a Democratic president, that they could bump it to 12 or 13.
Yeah,
And
I mean, is
there is
there?
a process to do that. But the other thing that happened, and I have to go because of class, but they, like a few years ago, well, let me step back. When things pass the Senate, usually they need 60 votes as opposed to 51.
Mhm.
And that's because they're able to do this thing called the filibuster, where you just go up there and talk. With judicial nominees, they took that away. So you only need 51 votes to do that. And so that's kind of what changed. But yeah, I don't know if, the Democrats are going to say, hey, we're going to pay you back for the way the Republicans, because we control it now. And I obviously wouldn't be surprised, because I think both sides are so political, and people aren't thinking in the long term.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would like to see it go back to the 80s when, President Reagan, whether you loved him or hated him, and who was conservative, and Tip O'Neill, who was as liberal as can be, was the speaker. And they would argue and then go drink whiskey at night.
Sure. Yeah.
And yeah, and that's the only good, one good thing about Joe Biden, he actually was there so long. He was involved in that process back when it was like that, when they got along and they fought, and then they went and they were buddies. And
Mhm.
but I don't know. I think we are so divided right now that I feel that that's going to be really hard to bridge.
Sure.
So it's unfortunate.
Well, it is, but I mean, I think we hold out hope. There's always hope, right?
Yeah, oh, I agree.
Yeah.
And there are sometimes politically or historically, if you go back, I mean, I think we were even more divided after the Civil War with Reconstruction. And so there definitely has been some super contentious times. And so hopefully we can kind of bridge that.
Yeah.
We'll see, just when you think things can't get any worse, sometimes they turn around and get better. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at my screen because I have to. I'm
Go.
gonna have kids showing up in like
Yeah.
2
No,
minutes.
get out of here. I appreciate you
They
kind
don't
of.
show up when they're not here because we're distanced today. They don't show up early. Like I'm
Oh
logging
no, of
on
course
at
not.
58, and I don't have one kid yet.
Awesome.
I do have to say it was amazing though to have kids this week. All the kids, or not all, but most. I mean, it was like the buzz of kids, the chattering of kids
Yeah.
before and after class. I just can't believe we didn't have that for a year and a half. And it just it just warmed my heart to hear that, and have kids back and see
That's so
some
cool.
normalcy.
Right.
It's not perfect, but definitely see some normalcy. So, yeah.
I love it. No, that's exciting. Yeah, my kids said it was kind of weird. They weren't used to so many people on campus, and so they were getting a kick out of it.
Yeah, it was great. So, all right. Thanks, Mike. And I will talk to you next week.
Thanks, Mr. Lewis. See ya.
Bye-bye.
All right. Eric Lewis, our weekly history lesson. I am a nerd when it comes to history. I love it. So he was talking through the judicial branch of the U.S. government, and excuse me, I didn't know that actually there's nothing that says we have to have 9 justices. He says we can have 12 or we can have 7. So that's an interesting thing to note. So, all right, 7:59. We're running a couple minutes late. What's happening? Anthony, are you there?
I'm sorry.
There you
I
go.
had to turn my mic on. So I did want to bring your attention to something on my page. So just up to date, there are now 5,631 likes on my page.
Oh, cool.
And there are 6,399 people following my page. So, and it's been growing ever since I've been on the show. So, so that's a testament to you and your show. So I just appreciate
Yeah, no,
the
I'm
support. So
I'm glad we could help you get the word out. And like, again, I say all the time, like the public service that you're doing for people, but by just giving them updates as to what's going on is huge. So
yeah, my pleasure.
thanks for doing that. All right, we got Coach Crow who's going to come on right now. Anything to report?
Nope. CHP is all clear. Local law enforcement's all clear. So I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the show, and I'll be on at the end of the hour.
Okay, awesome, man. We'll talk to you.
All right, see ya.
Thanks. All right, Anthony Reed, Paso Robles Incidents and Actions. Coach Don Crow is gonna. I'm gonna get him on the phone right now, so we can hear about his week, what he's up to, and the preparations for the game this Friday. And yeah, we'll just we'll take it from there and maybe recap Paso a little and just get an injury update and those types of things. If you have any questions that you want to ask, hit me up in the chat and I'll make sure to bring them up to Coach. But don't get ridiculous with your questions. I don't want to, like, Coach Ben wants to know what you had for dinner last night. I don't need any of those kinds of questions. All right, so let's get Don on the phone.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. We're gonna get this figured out one day. Yeah. So thanks for joining us on every Wednesday, Coach. We know that you've got team workouts in the morning and in the afternoon. But yeah, for you to take the time out and speak with us is very thoughtful of you. So thank you.
Oh, no problem. I kind of enjoy it.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, I'm no Dick Mason, but I try to ask you questions that people want to know the answers to. Hey, so let's recap Friday, if you will, in a nutshell. If you had to just kind of give us your 30,000 foot overview of what your thoughts are on Friday, what would you say?
I think our kids might have been too excited to play because we made some mistakes we have never made before, and especially when we went back and watched the film a couple times, some guys had done some things they had never done before, and it put us in a bad spot. And then we turned the ball over. We had 2 fumbles, and we dropped a wide open pass, and then missing our one of our best defensive linemen, one of our big and best defensive linemen, our biggest defensive lineman hurt us. They were able to run the ball inside against us, and control the clock was what we wanted to do, but they were able to do it, and we came out on the short end.
Yeah, I mean, going into late in the second quarter, we're only down 6-0.
Right. So we're down 6-0. We drop a pass on 4th down. It would have got us a first down. We have a 7-yard punt, and then we have a fumble.
Yeah.
So that's our 3 drives in a row where things don't go our way, and now we're down 20-0. And then we go in and score right at the start of the second half, and we have another fumble. And so yeah, things kind of snowballs there. But I'll tell you one thing: our kids never gave up. They played hard. I can't fault how hard our kids were playing. Well, just at times we just didn't play very smart.
No, and I mean, had we had 5 more minutes on the clock, it would have been a different game. They definitely came out in the second half with a different mentality, and you could tell that they were in for a fight. They put some points on the board. They really kind of slowed Paso down quite a bit in the second half.
Yeah.
So what do you say to them? What did you say to them at halftime?
Just that, clean up the mistakes, number one, and number two, we need to be the team we were 2 weeks ago. Playing with that kind of confidence and that kind of fire, and no matter who's on the field for us, you have to play like that. Like I told the kids this morning, everything we do matters. Everything. If that means touch the line, if that means be on time, if that means every single thing you do matters. That way you play with, and when I talk to the kids about playing with discipline is doing your job to the very best of your ability.
Mhm.
We kind of got away from that Friday night a little bit. We made some mental mistakes we don't normally make, and we got to clean those up.
Yeah, and I've got to imagine it's probably a lot of overexcitement due to the fact that you're playing against kids that you've grown up with, that you've played with on the same teams, that you're friends with and you hang out with. That's probably plays a large part as to kind of their mentality, don't you think?
Oh, we truly believe that.
Yeah.
We as a coaching staff absolutely believe that, because it wasn't things we hadn't done before. So yeah, we truly believe it. We think the kids might have got too amped up,
Mhm.
which is hard to say for a football game.
Right.
But when you're that amped up, you have to even be more locked in with your, mentally. And so, yeah, because it's easy to wander. But yeah, because we preach to kids all the time, do your job.
Yeah.
You don't have to make every play. When the play comes to you, make it, And we got a little bit away from that Friday night, which was the first time that's kind of happened this year, that we've kind of got out of what we do. So yeah, I think we'll get it back.
I want to ask you a couple questions about some injuries. Maybe I don't know if you can elaborate or not. Feel free to not if you don't want to. But a couple things. Fisher went down a few times. He's pretty banged up. Is he doing okay?
Yeah, he practiced yesterday. Yes, he did. He did what we wanted him to do yesterday. He's banged up. He plays a lot of snaps, and he's got a sore leg, and he's got the right equipment for it now, and he'll be on the field Friday night, I'm sure.
Okay. And then the other thing was number 4, Paso, Ethan Wright, took that interception and then obviously took a hit. Gosh, I feel like I saw Dom hit him. Maybe there was another guy that he hit. Tyler. Okay, Tyler. Coming off that play, Ethan went down, and then he's a family friend that went to school with Abby. So we were texting with his family that night to just check on him. He was at the hospital. He had a concussion, his second one in 3 weeks, he said. So, he's obviously watching himself, but on our end, Tyler is okay. And all those other kids.
Yeah, we're bumps and bruises. Look, we've played, when you step up and play those much bigger schools, we're still playing guys both ways and they don't.
Yeah.
And that's a huge difference. And that's what we're trying to convince the association about, is that, sure, we have some good players. There's no question we have good players. We just don't have, 1,100 boys to go pick from.
Sure.
We have 300. So yeah.
Yeah.
And so our depth is an issue. And when you play both ways, you get a little tired. So yeah, we got some bumps and bruises. There's no doubt.
Yeah. Okay. So now moving forward in going into this week, we're on the road. It's our last road game, and it's, we're not driving an hour and a half. We're driving 30 minutes down to Slow. What can we expect on Friday?
Slow has got some pretty good receivers. In fact, I like their receivers a lot. They can catch it. They have a huge right tackle who's going to go to San Diego State and play. And when I mean huge, I mean huge.
Oh, wow.
6'9" and over 300. 6'9" and over 300. So they've always got some athletes. They lost their quarterback, it looks like, to an injury 2 weeks ago. I don't think he's going to be able to play. I think he broke his collarbone.
Oh, wow.
But the kid that's going to start, it was their starting JV quarterback 2 years ago, and he was a player on defense. So he's a good enough athlete to get them going. And Coach Johnston does a really good job with his kids. They run a very good offense that's going to pose us some problems because it's something we hadn't seen for a while. And then defensively, Coach Greer is notorious. I've known Coach Greer forever. In fact, he's a Templeton grad.
Okay.
And I've known him for all the 17 years I've been here. And he's notoriously does a good job of trying to take away what the other team does best. So we're going to have to be able to do some different stuff and be ready to go. They're well coached. They're very well coached.
That's okay. That's fun. It's always fun to see a chess match between coaches.
Yeah, and their coaching staff and our coaching staff are pretty good friends. We know each other I actually coached a year with Coach Greer, and then Coach Johnson. I knew his dad was a coach at Carmel, and I've known Pat for a lot of years. So yeah, they do a really good job.
So San Luis's school now. San Luis is kind of you people think, okay, it's a bigger city, but they don't have a lot of kids, do they?
Their school's twice our size.
Okay, it's twice the size, so they've got more people to choose from.
Oh, yes.
But San Luis, the community doesn't seem to be a pretty big football community.
I think it runs when I think they're kind of, and for lack of a better word, I hate this statement, but when Slo's good, they support him. I mean, they come out in droves. I mean, they'll be big fans. And if they're having a down year, then people it becomes a second thought.
Sure.
So yeah. So I've seen that over the years, but yeah, they've had some back in the 90s and 2000s. They had some early 2000s. They had some really good teams that played in CIF finals. Mm-hmm. So, but it's like any other high school that's not, they're going to have ebb and flows of talent, and they're very young. Other than the right tackle, they play with a lot of young guys. I think they'll have 6 or 7 seniors on their whole team, and they're playing with some sophomores and juniors, but they're getting a lot of experience, and they're pretty athletic.
And then last time we met them,
it was a barn burner,
and it came down, and we ended up coming out on top. I remember that.
Yeah, it was. They had a shot at the end of the game on 4th down. They threw a pass into the end zone, and they had a 6'7" tight end matched up against one of our 5'11" safeties, and they had a chance to get it, and they just missed it. But that was a heck of a high school football game.
Yeah, I think
last year's our slow game was one of the best high school football games. Yeah, it was a really good game. High level played and well played.
And I think that was kind of the moment where our entire community went, "Oh, okay, I think we've got something here."
Yeah, I would think so, and I think our kids did too. I think they started believing.
Yeah, for sure. Well, cool. I hope we can recapture some of that magic this Friday night. I think, the boys are, I hate to say this, but, in a loss, you're obviously gaining a ton of experience and I mean, that's kind of a cop out because you always want to win, but I really do think that it's kind of shaping our boys' mentality, and hopefully, on Friday, they kind of turn that corner.
Yep. We hope so too.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Well, we wish you the best of luck, and I appreciate you coming on the show. And obviously, I'll be there with the camera crew, and we'll be rooting you on. And everybody else, watching online, will be doing the same. So, thanks again, Coach.
Yeah, I want to mention something real quick. One of my best friends passed away on Sunday, and he's a long time, and he is a icon in the coaching community, and anybody that's around football in this county would know. His name is Mark Gross. He played on Cal Poly's national championship team. His dad was a coach on that national championship team in 1980. He coached at San Luis High, coached at Tascadero, he coached at Napomo, he coached at Mission, and he was a big supporter of youth football. He ran camps in the summer, and he was just a great person and super involved in sports. And we lost him on Sunday morning to COVID, and so it's a real deal.
Man, I'm sorry.
And we were pretty good friends.
I'm sorry to hear that. I did see online somebody posted a nice tribute to him.
He was. I mean, he was the guy that would bring people together, and he was a big force behind what they call the home team, which is Cal Poly's football alumni support group.
Okay. Wow. And how old was he? He was early 60s?
61.
Yeah.
Wow. He retired last year from teaching, and it was his first year retirement. 1 year older than I am.
Man, that's a bummer. I'm sorry for your loss, and it's always tough when we lose one of our own. Yeah,
it was a coaching community loss for sure.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be coaches all across the Central Coast playing for him on this weekend. So
yes.
Well, we wish you the best, and again, sorry for that, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Mr. Brady. And again, thank you so much for what you do for us with your filming and this show and everything, your time. You donate. If people out there that are listening, Mike donates a ton of time to help us with our football program. I mean, lots of hours. And late night Friday nights getting our films done. I super appreciate it, and our coaching staff super appreciate it, and I know the kids do too.
I'm glad to do to be a part of it, and I've got no football knowledge or coaching ability, so I'll pick up the pieces where I can.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll talk to you. Good luck Friday.
Thank you, and go Eagles.
Go Eagles. Thanks. All right, that's Coach Don Crow, Templeton Eagles varsity football coach, and just a awesome guy, and super lucky to have him as a mentor and role model for all of the kids in our community. Just his staff as a whole, they do such a great job with our kids, and they devote so much time and energy to just not only teaching these kids the game of football, but just being positive role models and influences in their lives, and teaching them the value of hard work and camaraderie and sportsmanship. And if anything comes out of this season, whether we've got a winning record or a losing record, I can tell you that for us to be able to watch our kids lose with dignity and class and sportsmanship, and then also compete and win with class and sportsmanship and dignity, like that's a win in my book. At the end of my son's high school football career, what I want him to walk away with is great memories, and a mentality of hard work and what it means to be part of something larger than yourself. So thanks, Coach, for everything. At this time, it's 8:16. All right, we've got our district update now with Andy Burnett. Let me get your, let's see, you're on the screen, and now we got, this is a media superstar, Aaron Asplund in the house now. Hey, how are you guys?
Good. I think you got that wrong. It's more of a media amateur, but we're getting there.
Hey, I love it. I think it's a great thing that you guys are doing video like that. So did you were you backstage getting makeup, getting lighting right, all that, or is it just kind of go?
You want to know the truth? There was a stack of like 8 Chromebooks that my computer was set on top of, and it was pretty fly by night. It's not the studio grade version you have by any means.
Oh no, trust me. I had for 4 weeks, my camera tripod was sitting on a can of wood stain, right, just to get it the right height. Now it's sitting on top of a speaker. Like, yeah, it's a mess. But what matters is what the people see, right?
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, thanks for doing the video update. It's interesting when you talk about engagement, right? Because from a marketing standpoint, from a communication standpoint, for some reason, video has such higher engagement than written word, than still photos, and it's trackable. Well, opening emails is trackable too, but it just captivates the audience more, and then from an algorithm perspective, it's more viral, and it's just all of these things play into it. So I think what you're doing is a smart choice.
Thank you. Yeah, it made sense to take that step.
And so what I would like to see is different segments, right? Where you have like thought of the day, and then no, I'm just kidding. No, we don't have to go there. Baby steps.
Although I'll contact the communications team and let them know that's our next step.
Right. Perfect. Yeah. Maybe at the beginning you can walk in, sit down, and change your shoes. Put on your jacket like Mr. Rogers, and then
there you go. Right.
Hey, I told Mr. Mack that I would get a volleyball update when you got on the show. Can you update us on how the boys volleyball team did?
Yeah, it was a great first outing. They're newly formed. They're about 10 days in the making, so they've just got practicing over spring break, and then had their inaugural competition against kind of the gold standard in the county of volleyball, AG High, and a slow start. The first game was a little bit of kind of figuring things out, but then they took AG to either 19 or 20 points in the second set, which is, as competitive as it gets in volleyball. So all in all, it was a great first night. And what's really great is you see moments of potential, right? Early in the season, that's what you look for, is just some really solid moments. And I think there will be a lot more of those in the matches to come. So it's good.
That's great. Just in watching warm-ups, some of our boys can really hit the ball. It was impressive to watch.
Yeah, and they've got a bumper crop of tall kids, which never hurts in volleyball. So it's
Right.
good.
And I did hear that one of the AG guys is a D1 kind of recruit. I'm guessing just by watching warm-ups, it was the setter.
Yeah, well, actually, he took a night off from being the libero, and he played as an outside hitter. But in watching him warm up, he's every bit the D1, kind of athlete. So it's impressive, and it's really great to get to play against, competition of that caliber.
Yeah. Did you play volleyball growing up?
We didn't have high school volleyball when I grew up, so I fell in love with it when I was in college, actually. So I played a lot of outdoor volleyball.
Okay, yeah. And Evan, your oldest son, played volleyball.
Yeah, he loved volleyball all the way through his high school years, and hopefully he'll continue enjoying that for the rest of his life. Yeah.
Yeah. Volleyball probably wasn't too big in a farming community like Brawley, was it, Andy?
No, it was not. My only experience was down at like 6th grade playing just out on the cement courts amongst the alfalfa fields at school.
Nice. Yeah, I played in 7th and 8th grade, and back in the late 80s, early 90s, we had knee pads that actually had padding on them. They were these big like balls on your knees. The knee pads that the kids wear now are literally just like sleeves. There's very little padding. It's just more for looks, I guess, now. Or to keep the strawberries off of your legs. All right. So Jen Slozar is the coach. She's been in the community for a while. I know at one point when Noel and I first got into the area, I coached a 7th grade basketball team. Aaron, you were a coach in the same league. And then Jen was also a coach in the same league. So good to see kind of people in the community continue to stay involved in youth sports as these kids get older. And her son is one of those tall kids that you're talking about. He's been playing volleyball probably his whole life because of his mom, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, Jen, as a reminder that we have really high caliber, both community members who are willing to step forward and help, but she was a D1 college volleyball player herself. So we get quality people who know the game and, can teach our kids the right way to play. And so it's great. Yeah,
it's so cool that we do have those resources in the community. All right, so exciting announcements that you put out this week in your video announcement, the Templeton Virtual Academy. I don't know if you want to kind of elaborate on that, or if it's just kind of in the beginning stages, but like for us to have something that's a permanent fixture in our education tool belt for these students in the community is a really cool thing. And I think it's probably the way of the future in terms of having something normal, like a normal offering that's part of the district, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let Andy kind of comment on it a little bit because it's within his domain as our alternative ed director. But yeah, it's kind of in the spirit of trying to learn and leverage, the kind of capacity that we gain during distance learning and leverage that kind of over the longer term. And like you say, certainly that's going to be a model of schooling that works for some people. And so it seems like a very complementary piece to the other work we do within alternative education. So Andy, you want to chat about that a bit?
Sure. Yeah. Mike, you described it as, being in the beginning stages. And that is certainly where it's at right now. One of our first steps is really to gauge our community's interest in such a program. And so, I want to encourage all of our families and parents and guardians to complete our survey that was sent out on Friday regarding the 21-22 school year, because that virtual academy is an option and it helps us as we plan for next school year. So that is the first step. And then, really the next step is dependent upon the interest from our community. We'll then go out and look to staff the virtual academy and then create the structures that will, ensure success for the program and the students involved in that program. So that's where we are right now. What we're doing is, looking around the state of California and beyond, and figuring out what are the model kind of programs within the virtual academy realm. What are they doing, and how can we replicate that to really deliver an excellent product? Because we're not interested in delivering anything less than that. And so that's where we're at right now. And again, if we could just really encourage our families to go out and complete that survey, because that will give us a lot of really valuable feedback as we prepare for next school year.
And you may not be able to answer this at this time, but sorry, I was off camera for a second because I dropped my pen and I was taking notes. I had to reach down and grab it. So I know a lot of private schools, you have the ability to enroll in some type of virtual academy, and you don't even necessarily have to live in the state, right? Or in the area. Is this something legally that your district or our district will be able to do, is offer it to people outside of the district boundaries? Or do we not know that at this time?
I can preliminarily comment on that. Mike, what you're referring to, that phenomenon of kind of schools that are not based, necessarily in your local, locale, that is more the charter school realm, where that's a legal provision. And quite frankly, the state of California is kind of slowly ratcheting down the independence of those institutions that can kind of be, located, like centered somewhere far away from where you live. So to answer your question, typically you can only serve people in your local area. So that would be defined as your community, and then anyone within the local geography that would want to be an inter-district transfer. That's the best of my understanding. But again, we are at a preliminary phase.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of envisioning, like, when the early stages of virtual learning on the collegiate level, when everybody was applying for University of Phoenix and they lived in Tallahassee, you know what I mean? And a lot of private and charter schools do offer that as well for the younger kids. Okay, so that's good to know. Again, I don't know half of this stuff, so I'm just kind of asking questions on the fly.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, so the survey went out via email on Friday from you guys, and so. What's your typical response rate? Do you guys have that information? Do you usually get 50% involvement, 20%?
It depends on the issue, but certainly the last year, our community's had a lot to say, and for good reason, about kind of they've lent their voice to kind of the educational design, and so we've been trending closer to a solid 50% at least, which is all things considered is makes for pretty reliable data. And so, we're, and lo and behold, for this particular survey, in the first few days, we got to 25% pretty quickly. So now, as Andy's describing, we're really just hoping that fills in as much as possible, because valid data really helps us make thoughtful decisions, because it's really a resource question. We want to get our staffing lined up to where the students are, and have our programs be as strong as they are, and data helps us do that. So.
Okay, and then obviously once we get the data back and you guys decide, okay, yeah, this is something worth pursuing, you feel confident that you're going to be able to get it kind of structured and programmed and off and available for next school year?
Yeah, we have a high degree of confidence. It's as Andy alluded to, it's a pretty well established model, so it's not as though we're trying to invent something new. And so the fundamentals are kind of known. And then again, just if the interest is sufficient, if there's a critical mass of students who want that choice, then I really like Andy's approach, where you find hopefully the best versions of that established sort of system and replicate them here and make it a room.
That's great. Okay, so that was the first thing that you covered in there that was really exciting, and then the second thing that you covered in your video address was that you guys are basically saying, as of now, we are fully committed. We are going in person 21-22 school year. No more of the, well, if this happens, then we'll do this or this. We're saying this is what we're doing and this is how we're moving forward. And so for you to be able to make that distinctive clarification for the parents in the district, I think is very helpful, because it kind of gives us as parents the ability to just kind of drop our guard and say, okay, now we have clear path of what forward movement looks like, and there's nothing left to question. So that's very encouraging to hear that information that you shared. If you want to elaborate on that a little.
Yeah, thank you. It was a good moment for us as well. You know, one of the most challenging things of the last year has been, kind of being on the bleeding edge all the time of decision making, where there's just not certainty, and then for extended periods of time having to leave people kind of in limbo, wondering what comes next. And so to be able to establish that unequivocally for next year was really important for us. And it was predicated on, several weeks in the lead up to that of just more and more certainty, things falling into alignment. So we arrived at that place where we had a high degree of confidence we could make that full commitment. So it was a good moment for sure.
And we had a huge win as a high school, at least this week, with all of the kids in cohort A and B being welcomed back on the same days. And I know all the feedback that I've gotten in my family, but also with other kids in the school, have just been kind of over the moon excited and happy that they were able to be with their friends again. And it was a little awkward and it was probably it's probably the one environment that they've been in the last year where there've been that many people in one place at one time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a good test run for next year where we can iron out any of the wrinkles and really understand, or kind of be reminded of what it means to have that many kids in our care and to do it well. And I have all the little details really figured out.
Yeah. And the teachers that I speak with too are very thankful and excited that the kids are getting this opportunity to close out the year like almost normal. So that's exciting. So thanks for, again, all your guys' hard work and making sure that we can get that off the ground and make it happen.
And let me really quickly just articulate that thanks should be passed right along to the teachers at the high school first and foremost, and the administration. Like, they all came together and said this is the right thing for our school to do, and we want to make it happen. So my highest compliments to them for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we missed yesterday going into the orange tier. Is it orange? Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By just a little sliver. But we continue to see kind of good movement in the right direction in terms of infection rates and all things that are pointing to kind of a recovery here. And so that's helping your cause as well as you continue to plan for next year. Sports is starting to open up with some indoor spectators being allowed, which is great. And the district's stance on that is still in alignment for the most part with kind of what the county guidelines are, with maybe a minor tweak modification here or there, but for the most part in alignment with that. Are you still kind of daily, weekly, talking at a county district level with what moving forward for the rest of this year looks like?
Yeah, there's kind of several critical touch points. There's the superintendents convene a few times a month, and usually that's our opportunity to be with county public health to kind of get firsthand updates. And then our health team, which is our nursing staff, is plugged into a kind of a countywide, conversation on a regular basis. And then athletics is kind of a preeminent thing that right now is dictated by the tiers, and any change to the tiers does in fact represent a step forward in terms of more fans being able to be at events and whatnot. So so on several levels there's kind of a network of conversations that are happening that keep us pretty well informed. But yes, to answer your previous question, yes, we're still plugged into that as kind of a reference point about capacity limits and those sorts of things. We're still watching California Department of Public Health's systems and kind of regulations, and it is moving in a good direction. I'm hopeful we get to orange soon, because it just means more folks able to safely be watching and enjoying the sports and other activities.
Yeah, absolutely. And outside of sports, some of the activities that we have coming up to close out the year, obviously, are graduations and awards ceremonies. And it seems like a lot of the faculty and people that are putting those events on are kind of making adjustments with some of the award ceremonies being moved outside. As of last year, it was all virtual. Right. So now this year, if we're able to kind of do some outdoor stuff and limited capacity stuff, that's a step in the right direction. So that's good. And Josh was on the show yesterday talking about some preliminary designs and setups for high school graduation. It sounds like they've got a good strategy and plan in place that they hopefully can execute on if we continue to move forward with moving into an orange tier. So that's exciting. But, as you guys proved last year, or the high school did, even if, let's say we went backwards, like we don't want it to go backwards, but let's say we did. Last year's graduation was a success. I mean, for them to be able to do what they did at the softball field, that there's absolutely nothing wrong with us being able to do something like that. It was every family that was involved with it had a blast. The kids, it was definitely a graduation to remember. Worst case scenario, we've got that we have in our back pocket that we can pull from if we need, right? So
and as a parent who experienced it, my first graduate, that was his graduation experience, and we thought it was, all things considered, it was a wonderful event, and we really enjoyed it. So
yeah, no, it was. And for us to have the people that could pull something like that off in the time that they did was just incredible to watch. And there was there was no streakers. I think we had a streaker at our graduation. There was no fireworks going off, or I'm trying to, like, all of these high school pranks. There was none of that last year. It was great.
Right. Very orderly.
It was very orderly. Exactly. So, well, cool. All right. Anything else you guys want to cover today?
Gosh, I've downloaded everything that's on my mind. Anything, Andy, you got anything?
No, I appreciate you touching on the virtual academy, Mike. That is an important step for next year, and and recognizing the great work that's happening across the organization. I was listeing to your closing to the interview with Coach Crow, and I always leave this show appreciative of your positive take on the things that are happening. I appreciate you recognizing that our high school athletes are competing, and that's a step in the right direction. But not only are they competing, but they're winning and they're losing, and doing both with a lot of sportsmanship and a lot of dignity. And that's not just our football team. I mean, that's across the organization. So thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And I mean, it could be because we weren't that good of a team my senior year in baseball, but I really couldn't remember our record my senior year. What I do remember is the countless Saturdays that Coach Alvord and Coach Sleppenbach spent with our team from the time I was in 8th grade to 12th grade, teaching us the game of baseball, teaching us how to prep the field, teaching us the importance of working together as a team and picking each other up when somebody's having a bad game. Like, those are the things that I remember. And so, with sports being back, we're giving our kids the same opportunities, and that's really, at the end of the day, I feel like that's what it's all about. So, and Andy, I wanted to tell you, I don't know if you listen to the TB12 podcast. It's the Tom Brady, brand or whatever. He had on the show 2 weeks ago a gentleman that is 70 years old now, At 66, he ran 7 marathons, 7 days on 7 continents. He did the interview. I sent him a message after I heard the interview. He's coming on the show next week.
Wow.
So this guy's 70 years old. He spent 25 years as a chaplain on the University of Nevada Reno football team. He's just an extreme athlete. He's the oldest gentleman to compete in that 7-on-7 deal. And so he's going to come on the show next week, talk about his kind of exercise regimen and his routine and his mindset. And he does a lot of kind of personal coaching with just training people to have the habit of winning and excelling. And so I thought you'd appreciate that. That's something that I'll, if you can't catch it, I'll download it and send you the clip. But he's going to come on, and it'll be fun to kind of pick his brain.
Yeah, that'd be great, Mike. I'd really enjoy watching that, whether it's live or kind of a recorded clip. So please send me a message. Let me know when and what time he's coming on, and if I'm able to be on, I will. If not, then I'll ask you for the clip later on.
For sure, yeah. His it's funny, in the interview he says, the last race I ran, I just wasn't feeling right, and I wasn't sure, and I finished. Yes, and then I went home and I had a heart attack, and he's just like, but like it's just like, like we have a hangnail or something, right? He's like, I just had a heart attack, so now I'm recouping. But he ended up he got COVID last year, and so now he's going through the process of kind of seeing what his lung capacity is, because he's lost some of it. But at 70 years old, he's going to do a 100-mile race next year. So it's like, now he's training for that. It's just unbelievable what you can do when you put your mind to it, and if you stay in mental and physical condition, right? It's
really
crazy.
is amazing.
Yeah. So anyways, I'll leave you guys with that. I appreciate you guys coming on today. And again, we're in the home stretch, right? Getting this year closed out. So thanks again for your hard work, and thanks for just being so available to come on and talk with everybody. And I know there's a lot of details that you still need to iron out with the virtual academy. I see some questions in the chat about whether or not kids will be eligible for sports or whatever. That's probably obviously stuff that you're going to be able to clarify here in the coming weeks and month or so. So I really appreciate the time today, guys.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye. All right. That's Andy Burnett and Aaron Asplund, our district office representatives, the superintendent and assistant superintendent for Templeton Unified School District. And I have to, my wife and I both, we have to pinch ourselves every day just because we've ended up in this district, and we had a great elementary school experience with our kids. My wife was a private high school teacher, and our kids were at the elementary school on the lower campus. And we had an awesome experience. And we thought that was as good as it gets. And then we moved from Southern California to Northern California and had another opportunity to be a part of a great private school experience up in the Bay Area, and then moving back down to the Central Coast, and then being kind of plugged into Templeton schools. We really feel like we have hit the lottery, just with our kids' educational experience through their childhood. So it's I couldn't be more proud and more happy to be a part of this district, and every person that we come across and that's involved in the district. We just feel like we have such a supportive community. It's just amazing to really sit back and think about. And yeah, we've got our issues. There's lots of problems, right? But I think we are very blessed in comparison to some of the other communities out there. So, all right. And, speaking of people within the community that have continued to contribute, I did want to play this video. Malcolm High, who has no kids in the district. He's not even a longtime member of the community. He's a transplant from the Bay Area, a retiree, somebody who just on a whim decided that he wanted to volunteer and devote his time to giving our kids cool experiences, and he's doing so in the form of being a videographer and editing storytelling through video, our kids' experiences. And Malcolm posts these videos on a almost daily basis online, on Facebook, on the Templeton Proud site, on Templeton Athletics, you name it. He's just dropping these videos on daily. And so he put together just a really great video from last Friday's game against Paso Robles. And so I wanted to share that with you guys here this morning. So I'm going to play that right now. Let's see if we can get it up and running. Here we go.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of love. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, for your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone.
That's sweet. That's just such a sweet tribute to the boys that played last Friday. Just really cool to see. At the end of the game, watching those boys on the field just come together and giving each other hugs and the smiling. It's just such a I'm getting emotional. Just a great memory that these kids are always going to have. Good stuff. So yeah, thank you, Malcolm, for putting that together. The pressure's on, Malcolm. You got to do better than that this week. So I don't know how you're going to top that one, but really good. Thank you. All right. So today is April 21st, Wednesday, hump day. Today what did we learn? We learned about the judicial branch of our United States government. We learned that we have there's no rule of how many Supreme Court justices you can have, which I had no idea. Currently, we have 9. We have 9 Supreme Court justices. We've had as little as 7 or 6, I think. And we've had as many as 12, and it sounds like we can have as many as we want. So, and the thought behind them being appointed for life was the reasoning behind that was so that they could kind of be nonpartisan and not have any political affiliation or swaying. But yeah, as Eric Lewis mentioned, it seems like it's more divided now than ever. So it's just kind of an interesting thing to talk about. We also checked in with Amanda Moore today, who gave me her 75 hard check-in status. She's day 29. I'm day 23. I'm almost a third of a way through this challenge. It's not a weight loss challenge. It's just it's a mentality, a mental toughness challenge. And so I'm doing it, still doing it. 2 workouts a day, reading 10 pages a day, drinking a gallon of water a day, no dairy, no gluten, no sugar, no alcohol. Body's feeling great. I'm tired. I'm drinking a gallon. Yeah, I said that, gallon of water. Body's feeling great. I'm tired, but I'm feeling refreshed and well rested. But I'm just adjusting, right? I've plateaued a little, so now I'm getting ready. I feel like days 25 through 40 are going to be another kind of crazy shift in physical toughness and mental toughness. So tomorrow, let's see, tomorrow on the show, tomorrow's show is kind of wide open right now. I need to make some phone calls. We've got a few people that are going to be guests coming up. We've got another artist profile happening on Friday. We're going to have Donna from Lulu and the Cow Tippers in, and I believe Todd, the guitar player for Donna, and my guitar player and Rolf's guitar player. He plays for everybody, but he's going to be, I think, joining Donna on Friday, so that'll be cool. And then I told you about Mr. Odenwald, Taylor Odenwald, who's got the Mercantile at the old HA Spurs building. He's going to be coming in at some point here in the next week or two. Next week, we've got this guy named Robert Owens, who is 70-year-old athlete who is known for being the fittest 70-year-old in the world. He, 66 years old, ran 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days. He's going to come in next week and talk about diet and exercise and mental toughness and all kinds of stuff that I just love. And so that'll be happening. The other stuff that I announced today, Brady's getting his guitar back out. I'm going back out there, and the Small Kicks, my band, is playing a number of different shows this summer. Our first show, we will be welcome back to the Barrel House truck stage for the first time in over 2-3 years. We've played that stage. May 7th, that's coming up in a couple weeks. So we will be hitting the stage Friday night. We would love for you guys to join us. It's always a fun time when we play there. And the people at Barrel House are just absolutely fabulous people. And turns out their beer is some of the best beer I've ever had. So if you enjoy Barrel House beer and live music, come on out. It's going to be fun. And then I've also got acoustic shows coming up, which I'm super excited about. First of which is starting next Thursday, or tomorrow, not next Thursday, tomorrow is Thursday. For the next 5 or 6 Thursdays in a row, I'll be at the Backyard, which is in Paso. So that'll be fun. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. doing all of your favorite acoustic songs, or maybe all of your favorite songs acoustically. That's what I meant to say. A special song I'm learning for Mr. Tony Domingos, who asked me to learn a song. I'd love to learn more songs. If you have ideas of things that I should cover, please drop them in the chat, and I will get that guitar out and start learning these songs. Things I won't probably cover are songs where I have to sing really high, like octaves high that I can't hit. Probably won't be able to do like Whitney Houston songs or Celine Dion or Michael Jackson. Trying to think, Steve Perry. Yeah, I won't be able to sing really high stuff, but we'll do what we can. All right, 8:54. One last check-in with Mr. Anthony Reed. All right, did you happen to catch that video that I played for the Templeton Bearcats game?
I did. I actually watched it shortly after he posted it, and so yeah, so I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
good. It was a good little
great.
video.
Super special. Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah. What? Any Bearcat sports updates? I need to check in with those guys from time to time. I keep forgetting that I'm a Bearcat, but I know basketball. Do you know have any updates or?
Yeah, I know that the basketball team has a Facebook page. Actually, if you want to bring it up, it's Bearcat Basketball, I think. Let's see, Paso Robles Basketball, I think. Let's see, because I know I liked it a couple days ago. It's loading.
Paso Robles Bearcat.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the actual name is. I think it's Varsity Basketball or Bearcat Varsity Basketball or something. Yeah, but I know
we'll find it.
Yeah, I know it's on Facebook because I liked it a couple days ago, so I know it's on there. But yeah, so they actually live stream the varsity games, and they did last week. I know that they broadcasted the first couple games that they had last week, where they played Oaks Christian or Orchid Academy, I think it was.
Okay.
So I know that it was live streamed, and I can actually give you Jim Williams' number off air if you want to.
Yeah, it's a Voice of Paso is live streaming all of the Bearcat stuff, and so if you guys for some reason want to watch Bearcat stuff, go ahead and go on to voiceofpaso.com. And there's links to watch all of the streams of those sports. We actually have our own streaming network that we have some of our games on, all the games at our stadium. It's nfhsnetwork.com.
Yeah.
nfhsnetwork.com is where you can capture you can catch all of the football games that are home and all of the volleyball and basketball games as well. So that's something to look for if you can't attend those games in person. So, all right, any big plans for yourself today? You edit all the video that you captured yesterday?
No, I actually did it yesterday, and I brought it to a friend of mine that edits DVD or videos and puts them onto DVDs, and so I'll go pick that up and deliver it to the family this afternoon. So yeah, it'll be ready by this afternoon. I have physical therapy at 4:30, so I'll just do it all in one fell swoop, as my dad says. Oh, and by the way, speaking of my dad, if he's watching still, I was talking earlier about like the Kristen Smart case, and if it's gonna get moved kind of to a different area. My dad actually called me after the first segment and said, move to another venue in terms of the courts and everything else. So
yeah.
So it'll be kind of interesting to watch it this afternoon. I believe it's only going to be Ruben Flores that is going to be in court today at 1:30 in District 5 on the Slow Courts website. So he's still, they're kind of batting around, for lack of a better term, his bail amount. Mm-hmm. So it's just a bail amount hearing. So we'll kind of see where that goes today.
Okay. Well, we'll be watching. All right, Anthony, I appreciate it. Have a good day at therapy, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good, sir.
All right. See ya. All right, Anthony Reed, Paso Robles Incidents and Actions, joins us every day, and he's a welcome addition, and we just thank him for all that he contributes to the show and everything that he does for us. So, all right, it's 8:59. We made it. Today is April 21st. It's going to be mid-60s today. It's a little cloudy and overcast right now. It's about 50 degrees, 48 degrees right now, but it's going to get up to mid-60s. So I'm going to go work out. I'm going to try to get my sweat on and maybe go for a run, and I'm going to do some reading. I've got to get my guitar out and practice a bunch of songs that I'm supposed to play tomorrow night that I haven't played live in over 2 years. And so that'll be fun to kind of try to catch up. I actually play guitar quite a bit, so I probably will be okay, but I am going to kind of dust off some of the cobwebs and get ready for that. Tomorrow is Thursday, and we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. I hope everybody has a great day today. Just remember that I think the one thing that I'm going to go take with myself today is that everybody has something that they're battling and you never really know. And so I'm going to approach everybody that I deal with today with kind of an understanding and empathy that that everybody's got their own battles. And so with that being said, hope you guys have a great day.